Nearly every video you ever watch of Ammon will be mentioning money, but not the way someone normally might think. In these contexts, Ammon Hillman, the PhD Greek expert, some say, he says that he does not make any money. He's not monetized. He is away from the money because the people that make money from teaching Greek or teaching history are essentially bad, that they are part of the brothel, that they are, a grifting, they're doing things for money, and that money changes how you approach the text. And so what I want to show you today is that um, you might be surprised that Ammon makes a pretty significant amount of money from what he does, and that the logic that he uses is not great. But let's watch it. Let's watch what Ammon actually says first, and then we'll actually talk about whether he's being straightforward with everybody when he talks about money.
Congregation, and look, we showed the world that Bart Ehrman can't translate something stupid.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a Greek expert, philologist, Ammon Hillman. He was on Danny Jones. He's on some big podcasts.
What are you looking at in the setup here, people? People, is there anything you feel about this room? Is that a book? Yes, it's a book on one side, right? Is that thing for sale? Did you know in order to talk to this guy on the right, you have to let him hawk his books contractually, and you got to pay him per hour? Did you know that, people? The guy on the left, Derek Lambert from Myth Vision, asked me to put together a course for him. He said it was easy money. But you know me, I'm not a sellout. And when I saw the quality of his people, I spent a couple of days laughing, researching the quality of the dudes who went through. And to be honest, I thought Bart Ehrman was more capable.
All right, so we heard a lot here. So basically, he's implying that to talk to Richard Carrier, who's on the right, you have to be willing to sell his books. The implication is that, hey, what Richard Carrier here is doing is for money. What he is saying is for money. That he doesn't, maybe he doesn't actually believe it, or it's influencing his decisions. That he's not willing to follow the truth because of the money. And then he mentions that Derek asked Ammon, hey, did you want to do a course? It'd be really easy money. And seems like Ammon interpreted that as, hey, Derek is just trying to make some easy money. Now, another easy interpretation would be that, hey, Derek is trying to help out Ammon, give him an opportunity to make some good money, because maybe he thinks that Ammon deserves it. But Ammon probably interpret that otherwise. You will hear this all the time in Ammon's videos, though. We're not going to talk about every single instance, but here's another one. Just even like a really quick side comment. Doesn't really have anything to do with the conversation people will be having. He'll just randomly bring up money.
People, guess how much money we make at Lady Babylon? Zero. We're not monetized. Why? Because we don't suck dick.
Yeah, so he wants to communicate to his group, hey, you can trust me because I don't make money from this. I have good intentions. I care about other more important things. I don't sell out for money. Now, of course, there's the thing of like, okay, well, is money the only way that you can be a sellout for something? Can you be a sellout for pride or attention or control or for sex? Of course. So why Ammon focuses on money so much, I'm not really sure. But this is not just Ammon. But before we talk about what other people say, let's a little bit of our head of ourselves there. All right. So Ammon loves to talk about greed staining the soul. So he says we are not monetized because we don't suck dick. He says I am not a cult leader and I don't make any money off this. My YouTube channel is not monetized. Nobody makes any money off of it. I paid for my own tickets because I made a deal. I have to be able to bring these people honest access. I live in a world where grease stains everyone with the stench of ruin. So he's implying that everybody else that does make money is kind of being, going to be stenched, going to be stained, but he's not stained. And did we skip one? Maybe we did skip one. Let me just make sure we're not skipping one here. Okay, I didn't go too fast. Okay, that's good. All right. So he, as I said before, all kinds of videos where he's seeing this, but it's not just Ammon. Ammon's fans love to say it. It's like a parroting thing that just you see on every single video almost. So here is Madalena, one of Ammon's prized pupils. She's talking with Neil, and Neil asked, "Hey, any thoughts before we begin our conversation, our little debate discussion?" And this is what she says.
However, I do stand as some sort of ambassador for Lady Babylon in the congregation when I speak, and I know that you're profiting from my patience, so I don't want to waste any time. And
she says, I know that you're profiting from my patience, so I don't want to waste any time. So a normal person might be thinking, okay, is she saying that she doesn't want Neil making money? I don't see the problem with somebody making money personally. But I don't know, let's see what else she says.
What do you mean by that, profiting from your patients?
that you are making money from this conversation. But
Yeah, that's what I do for a living. It's like Ammon Hillman makes money off selling Greek for a living. Like he teaches Greek for a living. What's the difference? Is there something?
Right. So Neil makes the right point. Ammon Hillman makes money from Greek. What's the problem with making money for a living?
Wrong with someone else making money, but you just is it or is this Ammon telling you that people who make money are somehow tied to some brothel? Except for him, he can make money though. It's okay if he doesn't.
So my view on this, which I understand, when I was a yoga teacher, I thought, I was getting really burnout on, everything's a business. I need to manifest abundance, all of that. And I took a whole summer to just teach classes for free, because if it's authentic, it should be free.
That must
for
be
everyone,
nice. Some people get kicked out of their.
She says if it's authentic, it should be free for everybody. If it's authentic, it should be free for everybody. So like, did she actually think about this? I mean, does she think that everything should be free if it's authentic? Is she saying that everything's alive is not authentic, or it should be authentic? If it's authentic, it should be free. Okay, but that's not really the point of the conversation. That doesn't mean that what Neil's doing is not authentic. But this is just how things are parroted. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Doesn't follow the dots.
Apartments. It must be nice to be able to do stuff for free. Some people have to work, or they get kicked out in their homes. You must be very fortunate that you can live in a house for free and do classes free. It doesn't make you a better person because you have that fortune. It makes you privileged. You just don't even recognize it.
It is a privilege.
Yeah, exactly. Other people have to make money in this world, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Well, let me just ask you.
All right. Yeah. So we heard Neil's thoughts there. But it's not just Madeline. She, everybody's favorite LH has also said similar things here, responding to Myth Vision.
This is the big bit. Affiliate disclaimer. Some links may be affiliate links, which means I may earn a small commission. So he makes money off putting all these links in his description. That's all it's about. Because if he cared about the truth and what the actual texts say, he wouldn't be talking shit with these people and putting it behind a paywall. But we know what he's.
If he cared about the truth, he wouldn't be talking shit and putting it behind a paywall. See, the arguments are really interesting. Like, they don't follow. It does not follow that if he cared about the truth, he would put it to the public. He might care about the truth and have other motives, like, hey, wanting to make a living, wanting to be able to pay his bills. Maybe he will make it private and then later make it public. Is there something wrong with that?
Doing. It's all right in front of you. He's going to make money from putting all this shit in his description and all these people's links in this video so they can, oh, go buy my books or go buy this course. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous to share content for money.
What is called the brothel. Saying things that are not true and selling shit and admittedly making money off it. That's who this guy is. Let's take a look at what it says because we're not going to be able to watch it.
Okay, so interesting comments. I'll just leave it at that. Bit odd. That's okay. That happens. All right, so it's not just this. You have all kinds of Ammon's followers, all kinds, almost every single video. This one says, your greed stains your soul with ruin. Like, some of these videos are literally just like talking about debating Greek arguments. And then people will say, your greed stains your soul with ruin. Or we'll talk about Ammon's legal problems he's had in the past of sexually harassing students. And someone will say, oh, well, you're just doing this for money. It's like, what are you talking about? Well, this video isn't even this channel is not even monetized at the time of me filming this. I only make like $2-3 per video, even on my other channel. So what are we really talking about here? And even if I was making money, how does wanting to talk about Greek mean that I'm doing this for money? Would simply disagreeing with Ammon means I want money? Some of this just doesn't follow. And we'll talk about what's going on here in a second. But someone says, this message is corrupted as soon as money is involved. Ammon doesn't monetize his YouTube. He's a legit teacher, so he makes money in linguistics. So he doesn't monetize in YouTube. He's a legit teacher, so he makes money in linguistics. So I think they're meaning like that metaphorically. Surprise, surprise. He actually does make money from teaching course. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the bottom right, you'll see, obviously, Neil sold out. Of course, Ammon can't have anything to do with someone who lacks integrity of the sources, especially once trained. That's a betrayal. All these guys monetize, do everything for money. Everything for money. The one on the right says, why? Because it's quick to power and money. You can read the other comments if you want. What's going on here is the fan club of Ammon is trying to think, why will these people not agree with Ammon? And their way of thinking about, oh, he must be making money. But it's a little more than that, which is that Ammon's told them, hey, if you make money, bad. And what this is called a thought-stopping line of like thinking and group dynamics of high control groups, where say, for example, like at a church, someone will say that pastor is wrong because he did this with another woman. And then someone will say, don't touch the Lord's anointed. They'll like quote some Bible verse. But like, that doesn't address the problem, which is that he did something with a woman. Like, it doesn't address the morality of it. It doesn't address whether it's right or wrong. It's just saying, hey, don't don't critique the pastor, but like it just doesn't follow. Like the one's not an argument that defeats the other. And this was thought stopping critique. There's other words for it, but this is very popular in high control groups where like leaders will give like certain phrases, and they're basically used as a way to prevent any type of critique ever. If we just say, hey, anytime someone critiques what I believe, then I can just say, oh, well, you're just greedy. It's like, well, that doesn't actually address any argument. It's just an easy way to relieve the anxiety, the tension that you're feeling when you are being critiqued. And people don't even realize they're doing this. It's just like hey, sometimes it's impulsive. It's just like, hey, you're a loser. I don't even want to listen to you. I'm just going to say you're greedy. And that way I can feel good about what I believe. And therefore I know that you're wrong. It's like, whether or not I know how much money you make, like there's not really a lot of thought that goes into a lot of these comments. And so let's see what else we got here. But yeah, this is a really easy way to just shield yourself from any type of disagreement. We have Buri, the mod for Ammon's group, says at the bottom there, talking about Neil. Now he's signing a different tune because greed has stained his soul. And in this video, you'll see all kinds of comments about, oh, Ammon is... Neil rejected what Ammon said, not because of he changed his mind or that he is learned something additional or that he was confused or is confused now. No, greed has changed his soul. So something about money is what gets these people going, is that, oh, if you just say it's about money, then that solves it. It's a little ridiculous. Like money doesn't actually influence what you're saying. But maybe we'll talk about that in a second here. Here is another thing by so there's the question of, well, Ammon says that he's not monetized. A recent video came out by a YouTuber saying, hey, Ammon is monetized. And this would be pretty crazy, right? Because if Ammon is monetized, that means he's been lying this whole time. So I looked it up. I put in the little link there, his channel, and boom, it says monetized. And it says estimated monthly revenue, $10,000. Yearly over $100,000. That would be pretty crazy if that is true. At the same time, we got to be honest with ourselves. Maybe this website could be incorrect. Let's keep going. So I looked up again. I looked at other websites to see if they can find out. Okay, the top one says not monetized. Okay, that's weird. And then the bottom says monetized. Huh, okay, that's odd. On the left, it says not monetized. The one on the right says monetized. These are all different websites. So what's going on here? I'm almost 100% sure that what is happening is these websites don't actually have access to what is monetized. What they do is they look at like whether you'd be eligible for it, and they just say you're monetized, which is kind of a scam in a website. But yeah, so if I were to be honest, like I just think it's so unlikely that Ammon would be just like, there's one thing to like lie about something that is kind of something you can maybe tell, or to lie about something that nobody else is going to find out about. There's another thing to lie about something that would be very easily disproven. And considering Ammon talks about this whole monetization thing all the time, I don't think that he would actually be monetized. I think that these websites are wrong. But that's okay though. But that doesn't mean that he's not making money, right? And by the way, this is more pictures. Ammon implying that Neil's making all kinds of money from making videos critiquing Ammon, which is like, he might be making a little bit of money, but it's a little ridiculous. He has no idea how much money he makes, and of course he's making other videos as well. So I don't know. It's just a really easy way to distract from actual critiques. Ammon never addresses the critiques. Never, not once. it, unless if it's like just like something, you know, like super simple or minor, just like has nothing really to do with the major argument. Ammon might like address like a really small thing that like, oh yeah, I'm actually right about this. Like for example, in Ammon's group in this video, or actually that's the previous video, Ammon says, hey, so this person in my group and my my followers assaulted another person, and that person is in cahoots with this other person. And then Neil responds, how, they're not in cahoots with them. Neil also talked about how there's a really big problem with someone using Ammon's views to assault somebody, and why that might point to a problem with the views. And Ammon completely ignores that, completely ignores all the problems with his group, all of the legal trouble they've been in. Ammon ignores and further lies about Ammon's past in sexually harassing people. And instead, Ammon talks about this. Ammon just randomly responds with saying that Neil is part of a January 6th Zionist group, and that he set up somebody else to assault another person. Zero evidence for it. It's ridiculous. Neil, we have no evidence Neil even went to one of the band tours where this would have happened. Absolutely ridiculous. Just insane. Totally, easily, obviously distracting from the problem. Then he's just saying, oh yeah, Neil's doing all this for money, right? Give me your money. That's what this is. This is like a big thought-stopping cliche of, hey, we'll just say, hey, if we just say that all they want is money, it's an easy way, and nobody will listen to them. And it's crazy. What's crazy is that it works, because you see all these comments online of this happening. But guess what? Ammon makes a ton of money. These are just Neil's money that he has paid Ammon for Greek lessons. And it's not just this page. So you see $40, $40, $40, $40, $40, $40, 20, 20, 20, 20, 40. What is that, like $200-$300 just off this one page? This is in about a 3-month period, say 4-month period. Made about $200-$300 from Neil, just like that. Okay, and this is only Neil too. Ammon has tons of other people that are getting Greek lessons. Ammon has groups where multiple people in the group are paying money to be in the class. Here's another page. This is a 1-month period. 20, 20, 33, 16, 20, 20, 20, 13, 20, 20. Another period. 20, 20, 10, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Another period. 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. This is all the times Neil has paid Ammon. 40, 40, 30, 30, 20, 30, 40, 40. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money over like a couple year period. 40, 40, 40. Like each page of this is like what, $100, $200 at minimum. Okay, and this is other ways that he paid outside of it. So 2023, he paid $200 for December. August paid $200. So Ammon is getting $200 a month for at least 2023. In December and August. September, he made $5, and then $50, $50, $35, $25. And then Neil tells me sometimes he went off record. Now all of our lessons are recorded on Oisant, which is the website this is on right now. And then he says, in fact, a lot of them were just 1-hour StreamYards. And the $20 classes was me helping with editing for half off. So he's saying that Ammon gave him a discount. Otherwise, he would have paid more, but Neil helped him with editing. And then he said he would ask for $200 and then give me 5 sessions for free because he needed money for something. So he'd be getting $200 at some moments. And then after like 3 sessions, he would ask like he forgot that he owed me money and tried to charge me. So apparently Ammon would message him and say, hey, you haven't paid me. You need to pay me for this lesson. And then, but the thing is that he wouldn't say it like that. He would just charge him because you would, in this app, you have access to do that. So in other words, Ammon would just press the button and it would take money out of Neil's account. And then Neil would say, and I would catch him double charging because apparently Ammon would charge when he shouldn't have charged, when he actually hadn't got a lesson. Neil says he tried it multiple times to see if I was dumb enough to let him get away with it. So Neil assumes that maybe he was lying. And then he says he still owes me money, but I let it go. In the moment, I thought he was hurting for money and felt bad. And this is a really interesting thing because Neil, while he may not have agreed with everything Ammon said, there is certainly an aspect where Neil thought, at the very minimum, he thought what Ammon said was interesting, or maybe believed some of it. And you see this a lot in these kind of groups where you kind of just give them the benefit of the doubt because there's a lot of benefits for being in a group like this, a high control group. So you kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. And you do this with friends in general as well, but even more with high control groups. So, I can't psychologize Neil exactly what he was thinking, but you see this a lot. It's really, really easy to make excuses for when people do questionable things. And then he says, I was skeptical of his claims that he did it on accident. So he was still questionable. He was skeptical, but he also could see maybe he was just really hurting for money. And, maybe it wasn't. Now, me personally, I think that Ammon is totally okay, let me back up there. I myself am pretty careless with a lot of different stuff, with like remembering deadlines and dates and remembering notes, things to say. I will literally, my wife will say, hey, go get this bottle for me. And I will literally walk out the room, could totally forget that I need to get that. I will spend 20 minutes in that room thinking, trying to figure out what is going on. What do I need to be in that room? It's pretty ridiculous. I don't know if I have some mental disorder or what, or ADHD, who knows? But it's not just that. I'll do other careless things. One time I was signing something and I put my first name, Zach, and then someone was talking about prison bars. So I'm literally listening while I'm writing. So I literally wrote on a signed document, Zachary Bars, and then my last name, like prison bars. I literally wrote BARS on, like, I'm a careless person sometimes. Okay. With that being said, it doesn't make you a bad person if you're careless. That's my opinion, at least. And maybe Ammon was just super careless. I can totally see Ammon being a careless person, like me in some ways. So maybe Ammon just was forgetful. He got in a habit. Hey, I'm going to charge every time a lesson occurs. Boom. And then Neil, of course, would be like, no, we already had that lesson. You don't need to do that. Okay. Maybe it's not nefarious. Maybe it is. Who knows? Okay. But this is where things get a little interesting. So Ammon went to a event, and in this event, they charged $20 for the event, $20 per person. And apparently you can also be a member and save on tickets. So yeah, that is not great. Now, do we know if Ammon got this $20? Would the money go to somewhere else? We don't know. At the very minimum, Ammon would have known that somebody was profiting off of what he did. Wouldn't that be a big problem in Ammon's eyes if he's really concerned about people grifting and money staining the soul and all this other stuff? Well, this is awkward. So this is Ammon's moderator, and this person, Bori, makes videos for Ammon, even made a music video for Ammon, and he makes videos defending Ammon, talking about drama, talking about the band tour. And in this one, look at that. He is offering memberships. Now, the first month is free. How nice. But after that, 99 cents, $1.99, $4.99. So you might say, oh, well, that's not a lot of money. But did Ammon ever say, oh, well, it's okay if you make money, just a little bit of money is okay? No, he said greed stains the soul. This is what this group clearly believes, is that greed stains the soul. And yet here we are, where Bori is making money off of Ammon's content. Oh, wait, let's go back here. That's weird. That's really weird. This is Bori saying that now he's signing a different tune because greed has stained his soul. Huh. That's weird. So why is Bori, who was just talking about just a few months ago that Neil has changed his mind, supposedly, because he did it for money, and then we come over here and Bori, who's a big person in Ammon's group, is taking money? Isn't that weird? Bori, don't you realize that greed stains your soul? Oh, and look at that. Here is Snappy, another huge person in the group. And Snappy, $2.99 a month, $4.99 a month, $8.99 a month, $99. He would be willing to take $100 a month from somebody for his YouTube channel. Is that a lot of money? Snappy, are you not worried about greed staining your soul? Is that not something to worry about? I thought that this was a really big problem in your group. So I must ask, why is Ammon allowing people in his group, people in high positions, to make money when it's such a problem? And why is the Ammonites, the hundreds and hundreds of people in Ammon's group, not having a problem with Ammon making money from teaching Greek, from making money from going to events? Why is Ammon's group not having a big problem with Ammon's followers making money from doing content based off of Ammon? Why is it okay for Ammon's followers to make money, but Neil can't make money, or Gnostic, or Derek, or me? Why can't we make money from that? Why did greed stand our soul but not yours? Doesn't that seem a little hypocritical, a little contradictory? But let's talk about this, because the whole argument is like, hey, greed stains your soul. Therefore, if you make money from this, then you must be doing it for ill intentions. You must disagree with Ammon because of money. But that's a bit ridiculous, right? Because guess what? As you saw before, there's a lot of money to be made for agreeing with Ammon, for saying what Ammon says. Look at that top right. It says estimated monthly revenue $10,000, over $100,000 if Ammon supposedly got monetized. Maybe I might not make that much, but you really don't think that there wouldn't be hundreds and hundreds of Ammonites coming into my chat, watching my videos, loving what I had to say, critique? If I could critique Neil, if I could put all this time and effort into and my knowledge of, and my tons and tons of books that I've read and scholarship that I've read and listened to, and all the hundreds of scholars that I've talked to in my YouTube experience, if I just put all that time and just agreed with what Ammon said, I could be making tons of money. You don't think I would get all kinds of attention if I converted? Oh my goodness, that could be a great idea, wouldn't it? If I think about all the money that I would make, all the money that I would make if I just went public and said, hey, no, Ammon convinced me. I wouldn't even have to believe it. I wouldn't even have to make any sense with my arguments, because if you watch the streams with that Neil talks to with other Ammonites, like half their arguments don't make any sense. Madalena, like you don't have to even make any sense with your arguments. All you have to do is just quote a reference. You don't even have to read the reference. You just have to put it on the screen and say, hey, that proves what I say. or you literally just repeat what Ammon says, and you will get hundreds and hundreds of commenters saying, wow, you're awesome, you're amazing. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't I make so much money? I would get Ammon's attention. Ammon would be like, hey, come on tour with me. Come do this thing with, the whole Ken Willer. He was going to have a tour or an event with Ammon. That would be great. I would get so much attention and so much love from this group. They would absolutely love me because they would be like, wow, clearly he must be convinced by the evidence for him to change his mind, right? Because it's so clearly obvious. And that is a testament. I mean, think about all the videos you see online of people saying, hey, I converted from Christianity to Catholicism, or Christianity to Islam, or, Protestantism to Islam, or whatever. People love those videos because it gives you the feeling, it doesn't actually mean it's true, but it gives you the feeling like, oh, your views are worth it. And that's evidence because that person converted. Of course, 99.9% of the time people convert for wrong reasons, non-logical reasons. But that doesn't matter, right? Because I could get so much money. I could get so much money from Ammon if I just accepted what Ammon said, just repeat what he said. If I just said, hey, yeah, all I would do is to just have to repeat. I would just look up Mark 14 and say, oh, clearly this is about a person in a park, a naked boy, and look what Jesus is doing. That's crazy. That's amazing. Oh God. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I would make so much money off of that. And yet people want to say that, no, it's people like me, Neil, Gnostic Informant, Ali, all these people, Richard Carrier. No, we're just doing all this for the money. No, we could disagree with Ammon because of the money. No, guess what? Maybe some people in your group might be doing it for the money. Somebody actually said this to LH the other day. Maybe he is doing this for the money, and that is why LH is making all these videos about Ammon. Something to think about. Anyways, thank you guys. I hope you enjoy this. Like and subscribe. Let me know what I got wrong. I want to be critiqued. I want to be learned. And let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about.